This should be a really quick one. Enough of the witty puns, let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we are looking at a fix, and a relatively easy quick fix for a dragging reel motor. Now this is on a SL-HF950 Sony, and these motors are commonly used on a lot of the slightly later sort of mid-late 80s decks, and newer too. And what happens is the bearings go, or basically what suspends the spinning section of the motor goes. You can see it's not terrible on this one, but it is starting to drag on the coils. So the magnetic material underneath this is dragging on the coils a little bit. And what this will cause is things like improper take-up, poor rewind fast forward performance, depending on how worn it is. On this one, the problem I'm getting is it's not properly taking up the tape when it ejects. Otherwise, it's fairly okay. So it's early stages. So yeah, first of all, let's strip this down. So there's a little clip here. Just pull that off. Don't lose it because they're difficult to find a replacement for. Lift off this spool, and then there's two little bits of plastic in the middle of this blue plastic. You need to squeeze while lifting this. And just taking it fairly steady because the plastic may be brittle. And also try not to damage the back tension band. There we go. A little bit of effort to do that. I'll just move that out the way. I could undo the screw, but if I do that, then I'm going to have to reset back tension. We don't want to do that unless you've got a gauge, which I do have, but yeah, there's no reason to do that. So spool off. Neither have any washers, so you're okay. Black spool on the right, white on the left. This is really grubby, so I'm going to give it a clean, but I won't do that in this video because it's going to take for ages. Then we need to try and prise this off. There we go. And you'll see, if you're sort of used to Betamax machines or have some experience with them, these Hall effect devices here, they're exactly the same as what's used on the head drum motor, which commonly failed due to the glue. So you can, if you have these scrap, you can actually liberate those and use them on the head drum motor. So I've been really dying to show this fix. Somebody who actually mentioned this in a comment to a previous video ages ago, and I've just not had an opportunity to share it. I'll put whoever shared it, if I can find it, in the comments. I can't remember which video it was. But yeah, if you're watching this, whoever commented, please let me know in the comments. It'd be really cool. And that is to get a ball bearing. And as you can see, I bought quite a few. There's a minimum quantity on the eBay listing at the time. I thought, oh well. So you put the ball bearing in there, and it doesn't fit. Oh, well, that's a disappointment. So a couple of days on, and I now have some 2mm ball bearings, and I did wonder, I wonder if maybe the motor is slightly different, and it is slightly different to like the C20, C30, HF100, C40, whatever motor, but the actual shaft of the bearing is identical. So here's real assembly from a C30, and it's exactly the same. It's 2mm. So I don't know where I got 3mm from. Maybe I just got it completely wrong. I don't know. But we're going to give this a go. So the idea is you pop a ball bearing in there, and then this should sit, and if it doesn't, we can put another ball bearing in. Yeah, that's way too high. There we go. Let's drop straight out. That actually might be a bit of a trick actually for getting this out as well. I mean, you can pull the drawer out further by taking the top cover off and releasing that sled end catch, but and that would be much better in many ways, but I'm doing it the lazy way, and to be fair, I'm having accidents with that, don't I? To be fair, just unclipping the cables, trying to drop it, was actually enough. So cool. So I think I've worked out what's going on with these. In the bottom here there's a bit of plastic, and I've taken out the bit of plastic that was in that originally, and I'll put a close-up of it. But basically what's happening is over time, and with the contraction and expansion of the metal, the plastic actually starts to come adrift, and that, together with the forces, the downward forces on this, is causing it basically to start to come out. If I press, you can hear now that that's dragging. I felt that plastic actually move slightly as I pressed. It's not come out or anything, it's just literally just moved down. So if I press that back in, like so, that is now fine. And that sort of makes sense, because I saw a machine that had glue all in here, and I thought, have they glued something else in there? They replaced it, they punched it out and put... No, I think they just literally just pressed the plastic back and then filled it with some glue, and that's all you need to do. As simple as that. So I actually replaced a bit of plastic because I had damaged this one in all my messing about. So I got that from the stripped down real table assembly. But yeah, what a great fix. So the chances are, if your reel motor is starting to drag on the coils, or is a bit intermittent, because you don't always hear it until you take it out, you revolve it, it's just like grinding. Just press on that plastic. You have to be fairly firm. Make sure you don't break anything on the top, if you've got it like this especially. And just see if that frees it. If it does, then put some decent glue in there. Like I said, I'm going to use epoxy for this, and that should solve the problem. So I'm going to go and get some glue mixed up, put that in, and should be good to go. Time to put it back together. I've given it a clean. I've also lubricated various bits and pieces, just with a tiny bit of silicone-based lubricant, just to help the plastics. And yeah, so I actually had to look at an earlier portion of the video to know which way the spools went, because I always forget that the black is on the right. So Drop that down, turn it until it finds the locating lugs on this side. Then we've got the back tension, which hasn't been disturbed. I should just be able to put this back on without any problem at all, like so. We have got that spring to put back. This is actually quite grubby, so we'll give that a clean as well. I already cleaned the supply reel. Didn't do this one. The optocouplers. Just locate that. There we go. It's being a bit awkward, that one. So that's on. Lovely. So this spring, there is actually an assembly that needs to locate back in. Goes onto there, which is the end sensor. So that actually is a spring for the end sensor. So yeah, that's, I was just, where does that go? So yeah, and I think I might have done something silly. So back one, we'll take up, move the brake out the way. Actually went on much easier that time. Super. So yeah, put the idler on next. So let's put the idler on. And I have cleaned it, not that you'd know it, it's quite tarnished. And I thought I'd lost the clip, but I haven't, so that's always a bonus. You could use a circlip if you manage to find one that will fit, but that's absolutely fine. So I think we are somewhere near. So let's get this back together. We have the optocouplers for the reel sensors. We have the connector for the reel motor. We have the tape in as well, and then we've got the end sensor, or the it's not, yeah, it's the rewind sensor, if you like. So it's going to be a bit of a fiddle. I would recommend actually taking the drawer out a bit further, taking the top off, releasing the two captures so it can just come out just that bit further to give you some more working room. I decided I wanted a challenge. And that's fine, but it's not ideal. Just to get this spring on, you lose the spring that I wasn't too sure where it went. And then I've got to do some jiggery pokery. And again, I got the picture up of when I took this apart, and it's always very useful to have that. Real drive motor, and I've got to put the switches on. Cable goes through here, as does that cable. Back. Then we've got to be careful putting this back in, and this is why I recommend not doing it this way, actually taking a whole lot out, because it's just so much easier. I mean, those pink wires are going to be fine, but it's not ideal. To have that much slack on them. That is crossed, so we need to undo that, pull that through. This just clips in. Right, there we go. So the little cammed gear that's here, yeah, you need to pull that out the way so the whole lot can drop down, otherwise you're going to have the battle I just had. So let's try this again. Actually, what I might do is actually put the screws in and take it from there. I do wonder if there was actually ever bracket over this. Don't know. I mean, it would have been at some point, I'm sure, but I don't actually remember it being there ever. So actually, don't worry about that just yet, because we need to get these in. And I can't quite see why. Yeah. Do I have to go a bit crafty and pull this back? No, no, it should just snap into place, I think. Well, that's a weird way to do it. They're really quite sprung, these, and I'm just not happy about getting too violent with them to get this to stick, to sort of locate. Oh, do I have to really take that out again? Okay, let's do it. This has to be right. You've got to get these in because there's limited space. Oh, done it. Good grief. So, don't need those. I will give that a clean. So, yeah, bear with me. So that's a bit better. I mean, it's internal anyway, isn't it? So, well, happy. Oh, no, I'm not happy. I pulled a wire off. No, I haven't. Cool. It's just like, oh no. But no, it's just the way it's sat. And this is what I was saying about these cables. Because they're twisted. Yeah, not sitting well. So I've just looked, and a lot of the capstan motors didn't actually have a bracket. So I've got this one that I pulled, no bracket. So yeah, there we go. So I'm happy with that. So let's turn it over and give it a test. Okay, so I've put it back together, but you can hear there's a knocking on fast forward, rewind doesn't, and play I've got no take up at all. So I'm going to do it properly. I've obviously just, I mean, it's generally the cassette okay, but trying to treat, it's never a good thing. You just have to do it properly. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let's get it to half wind, pull the power, and we'll take it from there. This is broken off. I am not pleased. So that'll be why, even though the motor's fine, a good rotation and not fouling at all, why it's not actually driving properly. So yeah, plastic's obviously very brittle, and you can see that's a clip that holds that on, but the actual peg that it locates on is well and truly gone. So I will be fixing that. To be fair, a lot of the plastic is looking a little bit past its best. Not uncommon, but on these I tend to find the plastics aren't quite so bad. I think that's more luck than anything. But yeah, I'm sort of running out of time for getting this video out, so I am going to call this part 1, and in part 2 we'll fix that and give it a test, see how it works, how well it runs, and yeah, I just wish they'd sort of done it like on the older decks, which is actually on a metal pin. You can see the top of it there. It's pressed into the chassis, but I'm sure they had their reasons. But yeah, so with that, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.